I don't know who cheese like that. Got it. So watch out what we say now. I'll never live it down.
Meeting is being recorded. Okay. How do I get rid of this? Can't see anything. Record their own device. Is that something new? This warning?
About the recording?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Nope.
I don't know. I don't see it from my end.
Yeah,
Okay.
we saw it. It's always been there. Whenever
It's yes.
whenever he kicks the recording in, we're all notified.
Okay. Never noticed it.
Hey, guys, it's 1:33. Like I said, I do have a tight schedule. So
Me too.
with three board members present, we do have a quorum, so we can proceed. And let's go through the topics. So I call to order the meeting here at 1:33, whoever's time zone that is. Okay, board roll call. We don't have any guest speakers on the agenda, so I don't have to worry about that. And I need a motion to approve the agenda as submitted by Keith here a couple hours ago. We kept.
I
making-
moved to it.
That's
Go
Carissa.
ahead.
And I'll second.
Carissa, Bruce, Mark seconds,
Yeah,
all unanimous, because I approve also, so the
Yes.
agenda is unanimous. Now, the minutes for the last meeting on November.
I'll move
I make-
to approve the previous minutes.
I thank you,
Is there a
Carissa.
I'll
lag?
second.
Okay.
Mark,
yeah, I seconded.
I seconded, and I concur, so it's unanimous. Special business. Being that we're submitting an official budget, resolution here later on, I don't think we need to talk about anything else there. If everybody agrees.
Agree.
The Recreation Committee, being Derek and Mandy haven't come here yet. So I know she's got plans for next year, so we'll let her go there. Personnel Committee, Mark and I and Keith had a meeting with the, what's the name of that company? Give me a second.
CSPHR, the headhunter.
HR Consulting, which is a nonprofit. We're gonna go forward with them to do the hire. And being we're talking about Keith, Mark and I have spoken about this. I think there's been some topics to the other board members, but we're recommending that Keith Christmas bonus, it be $2,000 this year. So I make that proposal for not resolution. Anybody gonna second that?
So you're
one for me? Mark,
Yeah, I
second.
will second that.
And Carissa, are you on board with this too, I believe?
I'm on board with great thanks to him.
I think we owe him a heck of a lot of thanks, being he's sticking around for about 4 months beyond his his resignation. Even I've never done that in my career.
Well, thank you and great thanks to you all as well.
We need to do is to take a picture of you and when we get the new office open, hang it on the wall. Dedicated to you.
That'll get-
Hang it up. Yeah, hang it up high and say, this is what you have to look up to.
Oh, my goodness. Or we just post it on the dartboard, dartboard, right?
There you go.
We won't get anybody to take that job, Tony.
I tell you what, it's the first time I've made 4 offers and 4 declines.
I know.
Never happened.
Yeah,
But I
Yeah.
think we'll get out of it yet, so. Let's keep
So,
moving.
yeah. So the public knows we are working on it. They are interviewing people and, we're not sitting on our hands. We're doing our best.
Oh, no. That's the one thing we have not done. Have more interviews on this one. So that they know the firm that we're using as a consultant on this anticipates about a 90-day return on it. And there's a 12-month guarantee, just for the record.
Yeah.
Okay, public comments. I never received a request for any, so we'll skip by that guy. Going to the body of our report. from the staff. Be honest first. So please, sir, the floor is all yours.
Okay. All right, so the first item is, I've kept that in the manager's report just so folks would know where we've started and where we're going to. And where we're going to on the 2022 budget is the kind of the culmination of what will happen today with the adoption of the budget. And I think Tony mentioned this, we have actually 3 resolutions that the board will approve towards the end of the meeting. So we will save all of those details until later.
I have 4.
Yeah, the 4th one has to do with it's an amendment to one of the our
Gotcha.
amendments. Yeah, so
Okay.
the first 3 have to do directly with the budget.
Okay,
Next item is solar installation project through Shaw Solar. So on November 29, 2021, we met with Kyle Amstetter from Shaw Solar to finalize the locations of the 3 sets of the solar arrays, and which was really a good thing because Jim had some good inputs on some of the issues that we may have potentially run into with the proposed siting. So after we walked the sites, there were a few revisions that were proposed to Shaw Solar. And Kyle Amstetter provided revised site array plans. And I approved those on December 7th. And then additionally, Shaw Solar, they've delivered the panels to the O&M yard. And they will be stored this winter with the solar array installation big project occurring spring and summer of 2022. Next item has to do with the Unit 3 amendment to the service plan and the coordination meeting with 2 land use companies. So on the 27th of October is when I sent a letter to the Community Development Director of La Plata County, their clerk and recorder, and then also the planning department. And finally, the Board of County Commissioners to kind of close the loop on our request to amend the service plan. Just let everyone know we haven't received any response to date. And then Tony and I also met with representatives from 2 land use companies that were representing 2 residents in their efforts to consolidate lots to meet county land use requirements so that they could obtain building and well permits. So the main stipulation coming from the county is that there must be 35 contiguous lots or acres that cannot be a road bisecting the lots. So to accomplish this, the residents wanted the district to transfer ownership of the road with the stipulation that we would be issued an easement across that road. So in these 2 cases, the lots would be in the north and east section of the unit. They would border the San Juan National Forest, and there is not a designated access from those lots to the National Forest. So we could potentially support that and have reached out to our attorney, Jeff Craig, to provide us an official district attorney opinion on the direction that he recommends that we go. And then in dealing with the 2 land use consultants, they have set up a meeting with Neil Starkebaum from the county, and I believe the planning department for January 3rd. So we're going to have a sit down to discuss some of these issues, and I'm sure there'll be more coming out from those discussions. Final thing about Unit 3, it's not related to anything going on with the county really at this point, but so one of the residents up there, Tad Zachard, he sent us some concerns that he wanted us to know about with the way development is occurring up in Unit 3. And I've actually attached these to the manager's report. None of those issues have to deal with, the services that we're required to provide in accordance with our service plan. They more have to do with kind of the development that's happening up there with kind of a focus on POA covenants and those types of things. But anyway, I provided those to the board so that they were aware of those as well. And again, they're attached to the manager's report. Next item has to do with the small improvement.
Keith?
district. Shit,
Excuse
yes, Tony,
I'm gonna jump in for the record here, for just a second, a very brief statement.
certainly.
And Chad is aware of this, but I made him aware of the fact that there is a Colorado Secretary of State filing for a company called Forest Lake Durango 3 Neighborhood Property Owners Association, Inc. Their legality in Unit 3, I am totally unknown. I have no idea if they have any authority or not. But in the event that Chad wants to pursue something that is a POA item, which is basically those items that he references that are in the covenants, he's more than welcome to contact the principal on this whole thing, who is the registered agent is Renee Blaisdell at a registered agent address of 120 East 36th Street, Durango, Colorado. That corporation was filed back in 2005, and it is still current, so they are paying the annual fees on it. But here again, I'm not sure, and I do not think they have any authority. Because one person can file any corporation they want to, but it does give them the right to do anything about it. So that's just for Chad's information's sake, that if he wants to pursue some of those things, other than the fact that Sheriff's Department, who he's been in contact with, and somebody else, he says, I'm not trying to quote this. I'm finger on his little statement. He basically he implies that he has been in compliance with all codes in the county. But it's my understanding he's never been issued a permit to do anything out there. And the structure size is under the size of a permit required, so. Anyway, just for the record, put that in with the minutes, please. Enough said about that one.
Sounds good. So the next item has to do with the small improvement district program for water and sewer mainline extensions along Snowbird. I briefed this on occasion to everyone. Don't know if I let everyone know that. So we did receive all the prepaid tap payments, and Jim is in the process and I think has placed the order for the water and sewer line extension materials. So we're good to go. Should be working on this mainline extension the summer of 2022. So I've got a note in here that folks need to keep in mind is that my goal behind this whole program was to fill in all these gaps, and we have a few of them that are left after these two big ones that we completed this summer and next summer. So the next district manager is going to need to strategize the next location of where we want to emphasize resources. And with the timeline being before the summer of next year, we need to get letters out to the property owners. And my suggestion either is on Lakeview Circle or East Forest Lakes Drive. Getting a letter out to all of the lot owners and trying to determine whether or not folks would be interested in prepaying tap fees. And then with the receipt of the prepaid tap fees no later than November of 2022, preferably a little earlier than that. So that way O&M, again, like we did this year, will be able to start ordering materials for the summer of 2023's program. So it's a great program. I'm glad that we kind of masterminded this. I think it's going to make a huge, huge difference in the district on providing utilities to those areas where utilities presently do not exist.
Keith, how far can we go on East Forest Lakes Drive?
All the way to the end. So
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And I recommend we do. And so I know when I first started here, like for instance, Blue Ridge Circle up in the top northeast section of the district. Under the old program, I guess we didn't have sufficient funding to carry that main line extension from its point of demarcation all the way down to the end of the cul-de-sac. And so now we completed it was piecemealed. We completed a portion of it, but we still have a section that needs to be completed. So my recommendation is when we start these things, we need to go from present point of where they end all the way down to the subdivision and then put the project behind us. And the fact now that we're going to the lot owners to get the funding, I mean, that's huge. So if folks are interested in the utilities, they will prepay their tap fees. The next item has to do with the culvert under Alpine Forest Drive, which is right east of County Road 501. I've got some photos in there that show how impacted that culvert was. And I believe we are just about done with that because the problem with that is being that we're blocking the flow, there's a potential that we could have washed out Alpine Forest Drive, which definitely is not a good thing. So O&M's been working on that. And Jim, I think we're pretty close to being done with that, right?
Oh, Jim,
Okay. Anyway, he was
he's
here.
out there.
Yeah, we were working on that, and I think that if we did not finish, the snow may have impacted that, but we're cleaning that out. The next item is one that I just carry on a month-to-month basis: wastewater treatment plant discharge permit. Still nothing back from Colorado Department of Public Health.
Just for the record, so that people know, when I got elected to the board almost 4 years ago, that was an open item. It's been sitting there ever since.
Yeah.
So it's really, they're ignoring us, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Don't
I
shake
think
the
it was a
branches.
Dale item.
Yeah, and it won't surprise me.
Yeah. I suspect we're going to hear back from them, but the good thing is that under the CIP, we've got a plan in place where we're forward looking in order to address the wastewater treatment plan. So, so we have that definitely going for us. So number
Keith?
7. Yes, is that Derek?
Yeah, this is me. I've been on for about 10 minutes, but I just want you to know I am here. I'm trying to get my Zoom video going, but I am here.
Okay, so you're 4869?
Yeah, I'm 719-588-4869 is me.
Oh, great. I mean, we have a complete board because Mandy showed up a little while ago too, so
Awesome.
Okay.
that's great. Thank you.
You betcha.
Yep.
I have to update my Zoom apparently.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So next item is transfer from cash reserves. So, and given that we have not received December's revenue from usage payments, as we did last year, we have transferred 75,000 from cash reserves for the following. So as a safety measure to cover payroll through the end of December, for additional funds allocated to Southwest Systems to cover additional I&I work, which was in the amount of 20,000 that was approved by the board. Funds allocated and approved as part of the 2021 budget to cover administrative costs associated with the office, construction of the new office and the office move and furniture. And then to cover increased costs for fuel, materials, tree cutting. We threw additional scope at the tree cutting project in order to get rid of more of the unsafe and dead trees that we have sitting in our right of way. We saw an increase in costs from WCA, that's a company that actually gets rid of our dumpsters. They're now called GFL, which stands for Green for Life. And then we had additional costs associated with heavy equipment repairs. So I'm not anticipating at this time that we're going to be over budget between the three funds once we receive revenue from December's usage. The sewer fund and general fund are currently not close to being over budget, but the general fund has been trending high over the past couple months. And I briefed that at the last couple of board meetings. So to address that, we implemented procedures to focus only on mission critical and life, health, and safety purchases. However, despite those procedures, we are still currently 26,000 over budget in just the general fund. The items that have caused the budget issues in the general fund, again, are higher fuel costs. We spend an additional 9,000 on dead tree removal in the right of way, increased costs of supplies and materials, and increased pool charges.
Keith, are we done with those tree removals this year?
Yes, we were done with those back in, I believe it was September, in the September timeframe.
Okay, and we'll be doing something similar to that next year, I assume.
Yes, yeah, we'll be doing that every year as long as we need them to come back. Because the trees they're not getting any better, especially the ones that are in the rights of way, but so we're gonna have to address this on a year-to-year basis.
Thank you. Ken Tallman was asking for that.
Oh, yeah, and we signed a multi-year contract with multi-year contract as we did for our other contracts. So we just go from year to year.
Okay,
So again, if we don't need the 75K, it'll go back to the Colorado Trust. Our other option will be that if for some reason we go over budget between the three funds or individually, I can complete a budget adjustment to account for any of the differences. And Mark and I coordinated on this on December 7th. And I also sent him the spreadsheet, which shows that we have, which shows that we have 702,000 with, after the 75K was taken out of Colorado Trust. And people need to remember that 347,000 was taken out of Colorado Trust as well, which is partly the reason we're down to 702,000 in Colorado Trust. But those funds, once the building is complete, those funds will come back from being in a CD. So we'll get those funds back plus interest, and they'll go back into Colorado Trust. Next item is a big item, has to do with the District 2022 election. So May 3rd, 2022 is a designated regular election date. And at that time, there will be 3 board of directors positions that will need to be filled. First one is Tony's, and then we have Carissa's position, and then Mandy's position. The terms of the replacements are also 3 years. So the resolution announcing this election will be presented to the board at the January board meeting. So, and then January 1st, 2022 will be the earliest day self-nomination and acceptance forms can be filed with the DEO. And the last day they will be accepted is February 25th, 2022. There won't be any Tabor issues on this. It's just the voting for the new board members. So we're going to get the election schedule up on our website, along with the self-nomination and acceptance forms for residents to view towards the end of this month, first part of January. And then we plan to conduct our election again through La Plata County, just like we did with the November 2020 election. So that'll be up and coming, and we'll put more information on the website.
and just for the board's information, once the new board members get elected on the first meeting after that election, the board will have to vote for and appoint or elect is a better term. Have to elect a new president, a new vice president. And Mark will have the option, or the board's gonna have the option of keeping Mark as treasurer, but that's the board's decision of that new board and the new members, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Just figure I'd throw that in there so people wonder.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I believe the final item I have in the manager's report is about the new office building, and I think it is looking incredible. And I tried to send another photo out there, everyone, today, because it actually does show the metal corrugated or corrugated metal wainscot going on the exterior of the building. So as soon as that pops up on my in my email, I'll go ahead and forward that to you. But where we stand now is that phones and then internet. I've coordinated with Visionary Broadband, and the timeline that they expect to be in there to start installing our network and those types of things is going to be the middle of January, which is the time frame I'm looking at. So the contractor is also completing all the interior and electrical wiring for the outlets, the switches, and the LED lighting. I provided the contractor with a floor plan showing where all the phone and internet jacks are going to be located in the offices, the conference room, and the kitchen. Because Visionary Broadband is essentially going to be installing all the equipment and the service, but our contractor is going to be running the Ethernet cabling throughout the building, or the electrician will be doing that. The plumbers are installing the plumbing for the fixtures, the sinks, and the faucets. And when I was up there yesterday, the HVAC guy, the mechanical guys, they're in there as well to start installing the heating system. Let's see. So the next one has to do with the driveway and the road. So Hodder Construction completed the driveway in the parking lot. We rolled it for them since we had the roller on site, and that time is going to be deducted from his contract. One discrepancy I did come up with that that Jim came up with, I presented that to Hodder, is that our contract calls for an 18-foot driveway, 18-foot wide. And the present driveway is only 12 feet, so we're discussing that discrepancy with them. The district laid the driveway, our road, to stabilize it during the winter. O&M extended the driveway loop, which goes from our building around to where to line up with Mountain Oak Drive. So we're gonna, as soon as the building is open, we'll go ahead and take down the cable, which is on that, I guess, that east side of that lot. And then O&M is going to gravel the road that goes behind the office. And we're going to use that space in the back for employee parking. And then the parking that's on the north side will be strictly for resident or visitors that visit the building. So office framing, structural framing of the outer shell and interior walls, it's complete. The framing inspection is going to be next, which the contractor is coordinating. So the contractor also poured the entry and back patio slabs. They're concrete. I poured those on December 6th. And under administrative updates, the only new information I have there is, okay, it starts with the furniture. So a lot of the furniture we have in our spaces probably dates back to when we incorporated. So we ordered replacement furniture, which was identified in the budget as one of those, some of the administrative costs. We're starting to receive those. We're leaving them boxed up. So when our movers get here, the plan is that they'll be able to spend less time moving, which will hopefully save us money because everything will still be in boxes. And the movers I have set up for 1 February to come in and pack us up. And then so there's going to be some downtime before the 1st of February where we're going to have to close our office so we can start boxing up computers and that kind of stuff. And then once we move into the building, there's going to have to be some downtime too, because we're going to have pieces of furniture and so forth that we're going to have to assemble. But we'll put all that information on the website and make sure that everyone is aware of it. And I've put several photos in the manager's report as well, both interior and exterior. that show the progress that's happening. And then also have some photos in there about the driveway, the road, and the parking area. So I think it's coming along well.
Keith, does Jamie think that February 1st will work for billing? Will that still be smooth for January into February billing?
Yeah, so we're gonna have to work out some of those details, but Chris, that's a very good point. Yeah, we will work out those details. Jamie isn't here right now. But there'll be more discussion about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And that ends the manager's report.
Then we got the office manager.
Yep, and
She's not here.
no, Jamie's on vacation. She'll be back on the 20th. But I can cover this. She's only got a couple items on here. So as far as Cassell implementation, as of last month, we were number 6 in line to be scheduled for our Cassell kickoff. Implementation should take place in January as suggested when we first contracted with Cassell. And then the lady that we're going to be dealing with, her name is Connie Averett. She's going to be the project manager on this as we progress through this implementation. As far as phone calls, the office received approximately 127 phone calls, with about 7 regarding the recent rate increase, which is still, the phone calls are starting to come in as people receive their bills and they start realizing that maybe their auto pays, they found out that their auto pays are off. You know, we're finding out, you know, those kind of issues, but so we're still getting a couple phone calls on that. We also processed paperwork for 9 property sales. So as far as monthly notices about delinquent accounts, so we mailed out 44 reminders, and we've sent out, mailed out 11 shut off notices. We collected 10 of the 11. And then total delinquent accounts, we have 1 that's still delinquent out there, and I'd have to check with Jamie and Barb, it may not even be delinquent anymore. So property liens from January to November, we filed 18, we released 8, and so we have a total of 10 still remaining delinquent accounts, which Barb has been very active in getting those to be non-delinquent. So still, I mean, it's a little bit more of a burden on us, but like I mentioned previously, with us managing this program, it is a lot more effective and a lot more straightforward.
Thank you. Thank you,
I
Jamie.
would also say that you guys might want to put something on the website just because the post office has been, I don't know what's going on right now, but I get 2 bills every month and I got them about a week apart. And when I talked to Barb about it, she's like, we mail them all the same day. I don't know what's going on. So maybe just let people know, hey, if you haven't received your bill, you do still owe it. So you need to call the office if you haven't gotten it, because they're getting mailed, they're just not getting received.
Yeah, the post office is really ridiculous. To be honest with you, and Christmas doesn't help matters any because I've talked to a couple of them. The fact that we send mail from here to Denver and back just doesn't make any sense to me, but that is the rule they've been told to follow. So that is reality.
Yeah.
Plus Forest Lakes, the gal that used to be there, I think her name was Teresa, she isn't with them anymore. And they hope to get a replacement soon. So the people delivering our mail are part-time and may not know boxes as well.
Okay, Jim, are you live now? Are you?
I don't know, am I?
You are. Before you
Okay.
say anything,
I had to
Before you say-
figure out this newfangled thing sitting here in front of me trying to unmute myself.
okay, well, evidently it worked. Before you start, I would like you to address one topic for me, please. Most of us know and are fully aware that we had an accident with a company vehicle not too long ago. So can you give us an update on the status with Tim?
Tim's doing all right. He's still watching SCADA. He, he's just bored to death, but he broke his kneecap right in the middle and it split it. So he's going in next Thursday for surgery. And it can be anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, I guess they told him, before he'll even be able to, at least a month before he can even stand. And then they go from there. So, but he's in good spirits. It's, you know, he's apologized 50 million times just because he knows, you know, we're kind of hurting without an extra driver down here for snow removal. But other than that, he's doing good.
Thank you very much.
And if I could real quick, on that as well. So this is, being that Tim was driving a company vehicle who was on his way to work. This is going to be, it's a workman's comp claim. So we've reached out to our workman's comp provider. We have a file number now, so we pass that to Tim. So Tim can start tracking and charging all of those items to workman's comp. And then also received an email from the company of the person that hit us, because we were not at fault. So we're going to start coordinating with them on replacement of our truck, and then also to get a truck in the interim through, so the guys won't be without a truck as we're trying to replace this truck. So that's in the works as well.
Keith, you happen to think this is not going to be an OSHA issue, is it?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No.
I didn't think so.
No, not an OSHA issue at all. Unfortunately, I mean, he was in his seatbelt, wasn't under the influence. I mean, none of those issues come into play. He just got hit in the side of the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, none of those issues come into play.
Just don't double check.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
ready?
Jim. Yeah,
All
but
right.
we've been hogging your time.
The first part of the month, we changed all the oils in pond number 1 blower room. We have to keep those motors pretty well oiled, because that blows the hot air into the in the pod 1, which helps deteriorate any of the solids. We started meter replacement program. It took us a while to get to it, but with everything going on this summer, we have about 60 to change this year, and I think they were down to, did right around 40 of them already, so we only got about 20 more to go. We completed sewer and water taps on Pine Tree. Our rental grader was delivered to us. They have a few little items put back on it because they didn't, it doesn't have an engine block heater. And if you have a diesel, especially those big rigs, it's not going to start when it gets cold. So I don't know why they didn't send it with one. We did get the new snowplow put on our new flatbed. And I can tell you that it works very well because I was out using it in that last snowfall. We completed our fall maintenance program, and we installed new pond covers on not all of them, I think 4 or 5 of them on pond 1, because that's the same one that the blower building blows and mixes up everything, and you got to keep that insulated, and that's what these pond covers do. They're about 22, 25 feet long and about 8 feet wide. You just got to kind of get them out, pull the old ones off, get these all tied together so it keeps that water from freezing, keeps it nice and warm and doing what it's supposed to do. And we're pretty much done with the road maintenance. We can't put any more leg or water on the road. So anything else we do, we'll just have to do it. And, hopefully it'll freeze up and we won't have to worry about it. All of our equipment is running. There's just a few items that have to be done before we can get them put away for the winter. And for up to November, we had no safety incidents at all.
Thank you very much, Jim. I'm gonna assume that the staff pickup trucks are gonna be down one, so we're actually at 3 right now. I know it's in the,
Absolutely, right. We only have 3 and, but the ones we have, we've got two of them that'll, that we can put plows on. One of them's a pretty old one. We don't know how much longer it's gonna push snow, but right now we're hanging in there.
okay, well, I know it's occurred in December when your report is for November, so, but I'm just kind of bringing things up to speed.
Yeah, if you're down here, Tony, you can take a look at the truck because I had it hauled here because
Oh,
it had stuff in, tools and things in the truck. So I didn't want to sit in an impound yard someplace. So I had it towed to the shop now.
yeah, I saw the pictures. The one thing Keith and I were talking about, we still couldn't quite understand, he got hit on the driver's side, the left front panel. How did he hurt his right knee? What did that hit?
I think what happened was he jammed it because even the airbags, when both airbags went off, he never got hit by the airbags. What happened was they hit him so hard in the front, it drove him to the front, and it kind of swung him into that front dashboard, and that's where he hit his knee and everything. And the airbags went off to like towards the passenger side. He said he never was hit with them.
Well, he's lucky, really. That would have given you a blue eye on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, Jim. We appreciate you guys' work.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. And,
Yep.
and Mandy, thank you because I can see you're up in Alaska.
Oh.
Feels like it lately, right? Hey, Jim, tell him my husband had that exact surgery. He broke his patella as well. Tell him as one piece of advice, he absolutely needs to keep up with the physical therapy. It's brutal. It's really hard to walk again and his leg will atrophy. So tell him he absolutely needs to do everything the doctor tells him to.
Okay, will do.
All right, Keith, I think we're next back to you on the down and dirty financials.
Okay, so on the property tax collection, we have 0.7% that we are waiting to receive from the county. So we expect to receive that remainder this month, which is what, about $4,000 or something like that. Water pumping. So November, we're back down to 3.7 million gallons of water between the 4 wells. So in October, we pumped 3.5 million gallons of water. And then when you look at that comparison between the 3 years of 19, 20, and 21, they're all pretty consistent. So there's no changes between the years there. So on the 2021 budget, the income expense report. So the general fund, I've already briefed on that. So 26,000 over budget for the reasons that I've stated above. So the water fund, we're at 91% of revenues budgeted. Expenses are at 87% budgeted. Sewer fund, 88% of revenues budgeted to the 83% of expenses budgeted. And then so overall, we're looking at 91% of budgeted for revenues, and expenses are at 92%. So, which is overall where you would expect us to be this time of year, because we're November is 92% of the year has gone by. So we're just a little high on the general fund side, but overall, we're still looking pretty good. And that's that.
Nice job for you and Mark. Keep us on budget, keep us honest, and make all these numbers look good.
Well, that's mostly Keith. And yeah, I was going to say thank you for managing the budget so closely. You do a great job with that too, Keith.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
Okay, unfinished business, I do not show anything under that particular column. So number 8, I'll skip. Number 9, I'm gonna do the wise thing. I'm gonna take number A and push that off to number 10A, because they're both talking about the same thing. So there's no sense talking about the budget. We've talked about it now for about 90 days. So the plan is the plan. Number B is a memo for pay raises. And rather keep long-winded and talk about all the good things that we did and everything else. Basically, what Keith is recommending is that Jim Spitzer has a pay increase from $29.44 to $30.62. Tim Ellis will take home a $32.28 salary up to $33.25. Kyle Gilliams will go from $22 to $22.75, as will Daryl Johnson. And those are the pay increases that have been budgeted for the year 2022. So unless a board member has a question or a objection, I will sign the authorization and get it back to the office to get them implemented.
Yeah, Tony, I only have one question.
Yes,
How many employees do we have down there? I thought there was more than that. Do we have a couple of open positions, or is there somebody
have
that's
one.
too new to receive the raise?
we have one open position.
Yeah.
Okay, and so is there somebody that's not getting a raise?
Yes, Mark. So to your question, so what I did was during the calendar year, I created a new program called the Going Above and Beyond program. So
Right.
instead of waiting till the end of the year to identify those employees that were consistently going above and beyond, I gave incremental raises to those folks during the middle of the year. And then the other initiative that I put forth was that looking at what people are getting paid in the district compared to what their colleagues are getting paid in the town of Bayfield and then also in La Plata County. So I went position by position and looked at that. And then there were a couple incremental raises that we gave throughout the year for that as well. So everyone got a raise. However, not everyone except those 4 people identified above got a raise, but now we're looking at those 4 that will be end of year raises.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Going to the next one. Unless somebody else had something else on this. Okay. The end of the year Christmas bonus for full-time Forest Lakes Metropolitan District employees and board members gift card. As most of the board members probably still remember from last year, we do get a $100 gift card from the office. We normally were used to do these things over at the Christmas dinner, which I think we're skipping this year for logical reasons. So the other members, nothing about it. Hey, Keith put it this way. I respectfully request board approval to issue $500 end of year bonus, Christmas bonus to each full-time employee, except Jim Spitzer. We'll give him $850. And I will add, because there's a separate agreement that is not included in this other one, which also needs a signature. And the board is approving a $2,000 Christmas bonus for Keith. And also respectfully request a board approval to purchase gift cards for the 5 board members. Total of $500. And well, the total year says 6,200, but I know things have changed, so I will make sure that the exact number gets in there before I sign it. That's all right. Because Keith split up his Christmas bonus and the employee in 2 separate letters. And I kind of bonded them together here. Sorry.
Right. And so Tony, if I could jump in real quick. So the gift cards that the board members got last year and the year before that, when I was here, they were $50 gift cards. I wanted to personally raise those, and I thought about trying to even go as high as $150 gift cards for the board members. Because this board over the last year, for the issues that I've needed them to be involved in, the board stood up and I took a lot of your time. Or put it this way, the district took a lot of your time. So.
I know, I figured my salary at about 25 cents an hour.
Oh, yeah, but that comes into the other resolution that we'll talk about in a minute, but, but I wanted, yeah, I wanted to at least give $100 gift cards to each one of you and to still kind of make it very reasonable, because we appreciate everything that the board has done this year.
I can speak for myself, but I'm sure the board will echo, it's been a pleasure working with you. And too bad it's got to stop. Anybody else? Okay. That
No, I
scares-
agree. I was gonna say, I agree absolutely, with the whole conversation around this and Keith and Jim. So just their dedication and loyalty and agreeing to stick around, far past their retirement dates. I know that's not easy. I can't sit here and say I'm not sure I was the same, but just to commend them for that and thank you for all their service, without a doubt.
I agree.
Well said. Well said, Derek.
Thank you, Derek. All right, item D. I had a conversation with Bruce over our fire chief, Bruce Evans, ARPA Pine. I had my booster shot, and this is a very proactive fire chief. And his biggest strength, I think, is EMT work. And I've known of his whereabouts in Vegas. He's looked.
Tony, I think we may have lost audio on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost you. Started to break up and lost you.
K-band. K-A-band.
Sorry about that.
Laser.
Okay. Well, what? My internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, sounds like you're back.
Okay, guys, if you can hear me, I'll keep talking, but if maybe you can coordinate. If you can't hear me, then just, I guess we'll have to finish off later.
We can hear you, Tony.
Okay, well, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bruce basically cornered me on this whole issue. And there's a possibility that he can get a federal grant to basically replace wood decks with Trex or like products to resist fire. They can replace shingled roofs with steel or asphalt type products, or they can replace single pane windows with double or triple pane. The grant would basically give the resident 50% reimbursement for either one of those three or all of those three topics. But before he applies for it, he wants to know from us, the Forest Lake subdivision, how many people are interested. So I told him, says we will bring it up at this board meeting. We'll bring it up again at the January board meeting, and we'll feed him back the number of results. And all I'm looking for is the name of a person and their address that will be interested in any one of these three. And if he gets enough takers, he will do the paperwork and take care of all of that for us. I think it's a very
Tony,
good.
it seems like we need to get this more widely distributed. Not very many people attend these board meetings. I think we need to make sure we get that up on the website and ask for people to submit names and interests by a particular date.
Yes, I asked Keith to do that. I don't know if he already has or not. But I'm gonna basically
Okay.
circulate it by word of mouth to anybody I know up here. I mean, word of mouth travels better. And if any one of our board members is active in these Facebooks or whatever, these media options, please feel free to put it out there. I'm not a believer in that media, so it's not like me to do that. But I do not have any objection to somebody else doing it. Because all Bruce is looking for is a number count. And I think for those that have it, and most of our covenants do not allow shingle roofs anymore, but they were required when the subdivision was founded. I know there's a lot of older homes that have single pane windows. It's a tremendous savings on utility bills. And as far as Bruce is concerned, it's also tremendous savings on the fire risk. So,
Is it on our website?
No, Mandy, it's not on the website right now.
it will be though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will
if
be.
you'll let me know, I'll post a link on Facebook just to direct people to more information, because I know, yeah, more people probably get information that way than just, I think most people don't check out our website without a prompt to do so.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy to post that because I myself would be interested in this.
Yeah, that's huge. It's
I would, yeah, I would too, and I'd have to think that
Okay.
based on the
Especially to
people
me,
who took advantage.
what decade?
Well, I was just gonna say, based on people who took advantage of the reimbursement program for
Anyway,
lots being cleared, I think the interest would be there.
Oh, fire-wise, it would. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, what he's looking for is the number of people that he served with that grant. He does not want to go through all the paperwork and the hassles to do it if nobody wants it. So, and there is the key really, where we can step up and help and give him a number in January. Okay? Onward and forward, I'm gonna jump to the resolutions unless somebody else has something they would like to bring up. Resolution 2021-12. Now I need to flip the page. Other than the regular rigmarole with all the whereases, it is therefore be resolved that the Board of Directors of the Forest Lakes Metropolitan District of Colorado, the estimate expenditure for each of the three funds are as follows. Our general fund is $928,396. Our water fund is $909,570, and the sewer fund is $600. Pardon me?
You blanked out, so I wanted to make sure on the record, they got the 570 on the 909,570 for
Okay.
water.
Okay, thank you. Sewer is $667,807. The total budget therefore is for $2,505,772. And then the resolution further goes into another step down detail, which I'm not gonna read again because it's the same numbers. That the budget as submitted, amended, and herein above summarized by fund is hereby approved and adopted as a budget for the Forest Lakes Metropolitan Districts for the year stated above, which is 2022. That the budget is hereby approved and adopted shall be signed by the president, attested to by the secretary, and made part of the public records of the district. And the date of introduction and adoption is 14th of December 2021. So being we can't hold our hands up, then I'll just do a verbal roll call, if that's okay with you guys.
Did-
Mandy,
Yes.
Mandy's a yes. Carissa,
Yes,
Mark,
Yes. Do we have to make a motion?
no, because it's a resolution.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I'm in agreement.
See, Derek,
I mean, yes.
and I am a yes, so the resolution 2021-12 is approved by unanimous consent. Resolution 2020-21-13. This is another one that goes with the mill levy to the county. Let it therefore be resolved by the Board of Directors of the Forest Lakes Metropolitan District of Colorado that the purpose of meeting all general operating expenses of the Forest Lakes Metropolitan District during the year 2022 budget, there is hereby levied a tax of 35.524 mils. It's got a parenthesis that's telling you how we got there. Upon each dollars of the total valuation of the assessment of all taxable property within the Forest Lakes District. That for the purpose of meeting all payments and bonds and interest of the Forest Lakes Metropolitan District during 2022 budget year, there is hereby levied a tax of 0 mil levies. It's kind of redundant. That the president is hereby authorized and directed to immediately certify to the county commissioner of La Plata County, Colorado, the mill levies of the Forest Lakes Metropolitan Districts as determined and set. Here above. Dated the 14th of December, 2021. Okay, making the rounds again. Mandy,
Yes.
Carissa,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
and Tony is a yes, so the resolution carries unanimously. The next one is Resolution 2021-14, which is the third piece having to do with their annual budgets. Now, therefore, resolved by the Board of Directors of the Forest Lakes Metropolitan District of Colorado that the following sums are hereby appropriated from the revenue of each of the each fund, there's a D missing, for purposes stated. Spelling error. The general fund, we have a total of general operating fund of $928,396. For the water fund, we have a total of $909,570. For the sewer funds, we have $667,807. Introduced and adopted this 14th day of December 2021. Okay, only one more to go, guys.
And Tony,
Mandy.
I think that was correct, though. Revenue
What?
of each fund, because it was so much fun putting the budget together. I mean,
That's what I was gonna say it, but then I thought about it. You're right. Okay, Mandy.
Yes, Tony, I approve. Yes.
Carissa,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Derek,
I'm a yes.
and I am a yes. So therefore, the resolution 2021-14 carries unanimously. 2021-15. I think I'm gonna forego a lot of talk about this and basically explain to you what this is all about. It's a discussion that was really started at the last in-person meeting I can remember having at the library. I think Keith was there, Carissa was there, I was there. I can't remember if anybody else was. But as you all know, the Board of Directors for the Forest Lakes Metropolitan District get a monthly credit of $50 on our utility bill in consideration for the services that we render to the community. Out of curiosity, when we had a meeting, I also made the comment that, believe it or not, the Bayfield district or the Bayfield Township, who is very similar to what we are, that they get $1,500 a month for every meeting they attend. So if they have 2 meetings in a month for whatever reason, they get $3,000. So their structure and statute requirement are a little bit different than ours. So in that conversation with Keith, Chris, and myself, we said, we got to do something. And what Keith put together here is doing something about it. We're basically doubling it to the state max, which currently is $1,200.
Well, we're
A
doubling
year.
$100
We lost you, Tony.
meeting.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this, the whereas here. Directors may receive compensation not to exceed 2,400,
Mhm.
which is 200 a month. I think that's supposed to be 1,200.
No, it's not. That's how it's worded. Because there's
Is it?
other compensation that board members can get.
Okay,
Yeah, so
Alright.
in the form of gifts and those types of things.
okay. Anyway, we agreed at that meeting basically to do $100 per board member. And that's what this resolution is doing. But when I made the statement back even then, when we talked about it, says, I think it would behoove us, being that 3 of the board members are leaving, 2 will have to stay, that we do not make this effective until, that it will not be in the effect until May the 3rd, 2022, which is basically after the next election. I do highly recommend it because I think even $100 for most of us will not even pay our monthly utility bill. So there is room for improvement. And with all the legal mumbo jumbo, what it amounts to is we're doubling the director's compensation. So anybody have any comments about this before we take a roll?
I'm just gonna add,
And
I
the
think,
amount-
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was just gonna say, in view of the time that some of us spend on some of these issues, like this hiring deal, the $50 a month is an absolute pittance. $100 isn't even a lot, but I think it's reasonable to get something for the amount of effort we put in. Those of us that care about the board and do our job, we spend several hours a month, and $100 is nothing to compensate for that.
I think you might also
I
get
would-
more people apply for this.
Yeah. They do.
If
Maybe,
you're lucky,
yeah.
you can have dinner, pay dinner for your whole family. That's,
Well, I
okay,
like the
anybody-
idea. I like the idea of waiting until the next election. That's kind of consistent with the Constitution anyways, as far as pay raises.
Well, I-
for-
I agree.
I
Yeah,
think it has to
so-
do with common sense. You don't vote yourself an increase and hurry on and pocket it and leave. So this is one thing I insisted on in the beginning.
Sure, no, it makes sense.
Okay, that being said, let me go through, by the way, I got my full screen back.
Mhm.
Going through it all. Mandy, you on board?
With the pay raises? Or are we
With-
waiting to
with-
do the pay raises?
No, this is for the resolution to increase the board members' compensation from $50 to $100.
Okay.
Resolution number 2021-15.
I'm fine with that, yes.
Carissa? I see the Christmas tree, but I don't hear her. Oh, she shut herself off. You gotta turn yourself on. Just shake your head, yes. Anyway, I think she's shaking her head, yes. Yeah, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay.
Mark,
Yes,
Derek,
Yep, I mean, yes.
and I am a yes, so the resolution 2021-15 is unanimously approved. Okay, that takes care of 12, 13, 14, and 15. Guess what, Mark? You get to have the honors now.
okay. I make a motion that we approve the disbursements of expenses to the vendors for the period 4th of November through the 6th of December, 2021, in the amount of $109,781.17.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay. I can't, was it Carissa said second?
yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. See, Mandy, you okay with it?
Yep.
Okay, Derek, are you okay?
I'm okay with that, yes.
And I am approved, so the disbursement is approved unanimously. And lo and behold, here's my favorite favorite resolution. not
Hey,
resolution.
Tony, you got a second?
Go for it.
Hey, I just want to thank the board for all the guys down here for the, for their bonus this year. They do appreciate it. And sometimes they feel a little slighted, we hear a lot of complaints, but it's nice at least the board recognizes that how hard a work they do. And we just want to thank you.
We thank you very much, Jim. We do appreciate you guys. I hope you're not enchiladas out. Enchiladas out.
No,
Really, you're not gonna believe this. I can count the number of enchiladas my wife makes up here.
Yeah.
I don't eat them. So everything that goes here, and Keith is aware of this, because he doubled down a couple of weeks ago. He got it in the shop and he got it in the office.
I could have been triple down. I had some of my wife's too, so.
Hey, guys, we do appreciate all the work that the Metro does for us. I'm speaking for the whole board here.
Yes, for sure.
This is,
That goes for
Very
me
much
too.
so.
this is the
Very much
satisfaction
so,
we
Jim.
get when we can actually drive down the road and don't get our feet knocked out. So, thank you all. Everybody have yourself a nice Christmas. I show it to be at 2:43 PM on 12/14, and we are done for the year. Thank you all.
Merry
Have a great
Christmas, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year, everybody.